So let's find out whether or not they can do it.
Yeah, do they get gifted a god spot again? Can they ramp up the pressure with Sheila on the rest of the lobby? That's questions on my mind right now. Surely the circles can't go exactly their way 3 times in a row. Dugu play. Just as a quick update, have again landed Skyhook East, so no shenanigans going on. Not saying this time, it's going to go over to Lava Siphon, which of course Buriram do take in the absence of Moist.
Yep. All right, well, there's the zone for you. Once again, we're headed south. I mean, geez, how many times can we go into the same area of the map? It's not going to be the dome, at least, but it's very close to it.
Yeah, so this one, it does have that sort of lava siphon area in it that we've been to twice already. So does it go there? Do we see, something where you can kind of see Lahim, the top of that top player in Onyx Esports, down the bottom in the sort of the rusty orange red kind of color. You do get some zones ending there outside of Tree. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them post up there. But no, they didn't get beacon this time. Oh god, I feel just like, oh man, it sucks when that happens, when like zone comes straight on top of you and you're like, oh, should we leave? Should we go? We don't know. We didn't get beacon this game. Can be rough sometimes, but hey, even Lava Siphon, best spot on the map, did not get the beacon this time either. So yeah, look, decisions for these teams who just have to play off the other teams, basically.
Yeah, look, that sometimes is just how it is. And I think you can get a lot of information just from what you're seeing around the map as well. You don't even have to know where that circle is going. You can make an informed decision based on where other teams are rotating and how they're moving. And that kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect from the next ring pool. So it's not a necessity to get that information, but it is obviously very, very nice to do so. I think as far as this game is concerned, we're probably not going to be seeing too much in the ways of early engagements. I say, obviously, as Jack Q is on the floor, but World's Edge seems to have been relatively slow to begin with, and really quite explosive toward the back end.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. It does seem to be the trend for today, as Jack Q is eliminated completely. Banner won't be recovered, it looks like. The rest of Buriram has gone down to launch side, which is sad because you remember they had a really good effort when it came to the first sort of Lava Siphon circle here in groups A versus C. Man, I feel like Ash should really lean into the meme and like also try and land big Mord as well, so they can like grab the Rampart weapons to go with it.
Yeah.
I'd love to say that.
Oh yeah. If you're going to be the Rampart team, I feel like you kind of have to, right? You're the only one.
Surely no one else can like reasonably contest you for big Mord if you're running a Rampart.
Well, I'm not sure the players are going to agree with you on that one. But anyway, ADL Wolves have spotted a team out in the train tunnels north.
Play up the top.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't think they're going to fight though. Surely not. These guys are so far away from the ring right now. This is it's already closing in, and sure, we're back on season 15, which means that they've slowed the ring pull down a little bit here, but it makes it kind of hard for Dugu play, and they're kind of considering whether they should go back into that sort of the northern tunnels balloon here and take that one out, because that'll give them some space. But for the moment, they've just got to tank the zone for a little bit, and ADL, yeah, look, they don't want to take the fight. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep running down, potentially past fragments.
Yeah, I like that from ADL. I don't think they ever really wanted that fight there, and they kind of know that Dugu Play also don't really want that fight either, but it does mean that you're just messing with another team's rotation. You're making life a little more difficult for them. They're going to have to invest in using a couple more meds, that kind of thing. So it can potentially put Dugu Play off quite substantially, even though you haven't really done too much. Onyx Esports have found themselves in a real spot of bother here. It's just Bigsy left alive. Luckily, he's able to get that bat off, but I'm not sure that there is a res angle. In fact, I don't know, not even sure there's going to be a survive angle right here for Big Z.
Oh man, he's trying to dodge the missile swarm, and a single hit of that would have ended him there, basically. He's got 1 shield and 1 life left. Of course, you know, he is Watson, so with her upgrades, he will passively regenerate those very slowly. And no way. Is this gonna be the second impossible reset that we've seen today after Chicken Sandwich over at Lava Siphon?
That is incredible. Look at Big Z's HP. That is what he survived on. He had no shields, that much HP, and he gets out alive and reses 2 people. I mean...
Okay. Alright.
I don't even know what that's about, but it happened.
Surely the player who's doing that damage is calling out, like, I literally just hit a guy for, well, blue armor, so like 174 damage. Please push him with me.
Yeah.
I guess they just didn't want to give up the position. That makes sense.
I mean, it's fair enough.
Considering where they are, but like, damn, man, that's a couple of kills. That's 3 kills, literally, that just went begging.
Indeed. 3 points as well. But beggars can't be choosers, and in this situation, everyone's back up to 60. It's kind of like what I was saying, right? Where not expecting to see a whole lot happening early on in World's Edge. Has been pretty slow going. A lot of these southern shifts also mean that we're going to quite heavily populated areas in terms of buildings. Like, there's a lot of little buildings all over the place. Like, Tree has a bunch of separate compartments. Launch site as well can really hold a lot of teams. Same with Lava Siphon. There's a lot of these really big points of interest on the map that obviously can occupy a lot of teams. So no one really needs to fight for territory. Exception obviously being Dugu, who were kept at bay by ADL. And you know what's funny about this is Dugu's obviously doing a little bit of replicating here. ADL are doing the exact same thing down in Fragment West as well. So they're kind of mirroring each other in all facets of the game at the moment.
Yeah, ADL will just make their way into the ring now, though. Alongside 20th Guaranteed, actually, over in Landslide. So a couple of teams, you know, there's 3 sort of late, and then there's Dugu Play, who knows? At this point, it kind of feels like they almost may never make it in. But at least they'll have the med kits to hopefully guide them along their way. There you can see that's most of the teams, with the exception of Dugu Play, still to the north. And okay, we are not getting that same circle over at Lava Siphon. It'll shift left there. Ooh, does it end on launch side? I think it'll probably go more towards the north side there. So I feel like the teams in Tree, you know, Boogie Borders and Onic are going to be the ones I'm going to have my eye on here.
What are they going to do? Where are they going to go? I'm also still keeping a bit of a sly eye on AF. They have not got info as to where this next zone is going to go. And they also are not in a great spot so far. So, interesting to see what they do end up doing. EXO's not in a bad position at all.
Yeah, they managed to get, I can't remember which one of them was down, but they were down to a 2 at one point. So somehow managed to get 3. I mean, there's a respawn beacon that looks like it's unused in front of them, so I'm guessing that was a Moby that they had available to them. You know, just had a quick look at Ath, who was set up. Unfortunately, this time it's not God Spot for them. And then Ant are to the north of them as well. So, look, teams like Good Riddance, maybe hopefully they can have a good spot, a good game finally. They seem to be sort of central at the moment.
I think we may be seeing another little bit of an engagement from ADL Wolves and Dugu Play right up toward the northern side of the map. They have run into each other once again. And I gotta say, I feel a little bit bad for Dugu Play at this point. They just want to rotate. But they keep running into ADL, who are also miles from the zone and still gatekeeping them out of this zone. So, ADL, they're going to have to make sure they win this fight. Otherwise, it will be a little bit of egg on their face, because they would have been well out of this position already. Dugu Play not doing a bad job of it so far. Dreamfire gets eliminated in first.
Wow.
So, I should say, I guess. They get eliminated first. Not sure what happened there. But I would have put money on it being one of these 2 teams that we're watching right now, not Dreamfire.
Okay, the fight continues in earnest here. It now goes into the zone. They've taken that long that the second zone has overtaken them. Hopefully, whichever team wins this has enough medkits that they've crafted on the back of it to continue on. ADL from up on high are going to take a crack at it. And as everyone's health ticks lower, it feels like Dugu Play is probably going to get the raw end of this deal.
Indeed. Ikoloni Noob actually went down to the zone. He got put low by ADL Wolves and eventually dropped to the zone. But yeah, look, clean wipe there from Dugu Play. They keep all 3 members up. Zone Force is moving its way in. 20th guaranteed down to just Rico. And is going to be unresable from now. Leaf maybe to get back up. Ooh, this is some good shots in. To dissuade any push from coming through, but it just doesn't really look like Rico can move at all.
Gonna rely on the gen heals and the passive heals there to get him back up. But I mean, surely he knows he's in a world of strife here, and other teams know it too. You can see Fussy. He's the one to be popping the missile swarm towards him. I feel like it's only a matter of time here, and if it wasn't for Onyx Esports on the other side of this, you'd see Boogie Borders really pulling in here to grab that last. What on earth is that ring?
Well, I'll tell you who's going to be very happy with that one, and it is T4. Because they are not going to have to move for a very long time. They are well set up inside of this control room. And they're going to get the info on it as well, because they have got that crypto. They've got the drone out. Tap straight with you. He's having a bit of a look. He's scanned the beacon that's close by. And they know. They know that they don't have to move. And now he gets to basically do exactly what our observers are doing this entire game. In that he just flies around the map and watches what's going on.
I mean,
instead of actually playing it.
We have seen disgusting rings and disgusting ring pulls so far this split, Elfish, but that is probably the worst that I have come across. I mean, there's going to be a couple of teams, maybe one, maybe two, just jammed in up the top of the north side. There's going to be like a team like T4, if they can hold it out here, you can see nicely fenced up. And then probably a team under that platform.
Yeah.
I mean, Buri Ram have got the sort of the one to the north there as well, but god damn, that's going to be so hard for these teams to play around.
Yeah, at the very least, there is high ground and low ground here, so you can facilitate a couple of extra teams with what you've got to play with. I'm literally watching Tapstrafe, his POV. He's just flying all over the place inside of launch site, watching to see whether any teams are rotating in their direction, but he's given me a good idea of what is around and what is going to be playable, and I tell you what, there's not a whole lot, but you can probably fit, you know, maybe 4 or 5 teams in and around launch site on that side, and then, like you say, maybe 1 or 2 teams on the north side. It's not going to leave a lot of room to play with for many teams, but, you know, sometimes that's just how it is, and you're going to have to make do with what you've got. Now, Lava Siphon also continues to be a fairly contested area of the map, at least for the next zone. It's going to be a good place to be.
Yeah, look, I'm a little bit in disbelief, honestly. But in about 1 circle's time, we're gonna see how these teams try and deal with what the hand the game has dealt them here, which is yeah. Look, I mean, most of them really are in the same kind of position, right? I mean, apart from T4 and Buriram, like everyone else is just gonna have to deal with it, basically.
Commander. They have got a lot of teams to worry about right now. Luckily, they're set up nicely with some Watson fences. Crusader, no shields. He's going to have to get back inside. You really don't want to get knocked at a time like this.
You don't. There's 5 teams in the building, and there's 1 team on either side of the building. So MD White go out. That's 1 down, but you still got another 6 teams in this region. And as soon as they see this ring pull, they're going to be like, well, guess we got to kill everyone else, because if we don't, there's no chance we're making it into the next one.
We're just not getting any points out of it either. If we're not making it into the zone, we're not killing everyone. What are we doing?
But also, how do you play that out safely? If there's 5 teams, like how can you do that without getting third-partied, fourth-partied, fifth-partied?
Listen, there's a reason I'm not a pro player, and it's because these are the kinds of situations that are probably a little bit too hard for me.
Okay, well, another team's gone down. ADL Wolves loses their position. Good riddance as well. And we're actually just left with 3 now. So it's actually going pretty fast. Teams chewing through each other. PK, GQ, and DNZ trying to make this happen. A couple of grenades coming in from DNZ. They were the team on the right who sort of left it till a little bit later to pull in here. And Primus Commander really feels like they're the team who's sort of played this the best.
That's a nice angle for Boogie to find, but everyone turns on him immediately, and so he'll have to back on up and clear those shields a little bit. At the end of the day, it's nice to win this fight and to win the fights around this area of the map, but you've still got to make a rotate. So whoever does end up walking out of there alive, I think it's still kind of out of the frying pan in the fire kind of a situation. EXO maybe suffering the same kind of a fate as they'll have to move, but they're kind of being gatekept a little bit by RTL, who are standing behind them. Both teams just want to move on, but there isn't really anywhere to move on to. We talked about that being a bit of an issue once this zone pulls in onto launch site.
No, with a zone like this one, you know there's not going to be that many places to play. You really want to make these fights happen early, and I think, you know, either EXO or RTL really need to push this so that they can spend more time worrying about where they're rotating and less time worrying about who they're fighting here. It looks like EXO are actually trying to make the move without even finishing the fight off, which is pretty damn risky. RTL kind of trying to do the same. Yeah, I guess Rudene's down. Limo and Tilted Winnie are going to have to try and make their way on their own. They go down the bottom. EXO are up the top of one of those raised platforms, actually, but they get pushed off by a couple of grenades, and you can see here, playing from the middle of the triangle, in the middle of launch site, that's Chicken Sandwich with a couple of well-placed grenades, forcing teams into bad spots.
Yeah, EXO has had to drop on top of Boogie Porters, and it hasn't worked out well for either team, each having lost one player apiece. It's really come to a head now, and Boogie Porters will be the team that does get eliminated. EXO, well, Dexter is dead. There is no resing that at this point in time. Ziki and Killerpoz are going to have to do it as a duo, but the deeper they get into this game, the more likely EXO is to walk away with the win in this lobby. I think they might have already done enough, but Ziki and Killerpoz, they're not going to be resting on their laurels. They're going to survive as much as they can, get as many kill points as they can, and T4, the team we talked about,
yes,
Godspot, have been taken down by Chicken Sandwich.
And it was a close fight, Elfish. It was so close. You can see there, player K, only one left alive, really. Man, you called it out, but EXO are making you eat your words there. They are actually going to get that res off. Chicken Sandwich, though, that's probably the more important story here. Just by the skin of their teeth, they win that fight and take not only high ground, but you can see they're actually pushing out even further here to try and deal more damage.
Yeah, I think that mobile respawn beacon might actually be more of a bait than anything else for EXO. They can get their 3 members, but they're going to get pushed by Chicken Sandwich. They have to win another fight, and they're doing a good job of it. Ziki went down quite quickly after. It's Killerpoz. He might be in a 1v1. How many knocks have they got? In the end, it doesn't matter. Chicken Sandwich. It was a 2v1 for Killerpoz, and the Moby was a bait.
But can they reset in time? Chicken Sandwich have done it already once this series. They do get strafings flying up. Ath is kind of close to them, but if they can get back up to the high ground, they will be safe and get back into the god spot they want. Somehow, no one else has fallen into it in that time that they went down to kill EXO. An extremely risky move by Chicken Sandwich, but somehow, against all odds, it has paid off here in the final game. 5 squads left alive. 3 have rotated through the north side, where Buriram were. You've got Primus Commander up there as well, but now Ann are crowding this platform where Ath are hiding under.
Well, fortune favors the bold, as they say, and Chicken Sandwich certainly have been bold in this game. They've taken Godspot, they moved away from it, took out another team, and they've once again retaken that control room. I'm surprised that no one moved in when they moved out, but end of the day, they have got a really good position to play from. Also, lots of loot boxes in there as well. And esports are the ones that I feel like are really under the pressure at the moment. They've just got a bunch of boxes to play behind. Okay,
as Godspots go, this is genuinely one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, essentially, Chicken Sandwich can stick to the side of the glass. You can see how that tiny little circle in the middle, that's where it's finishing. So they have cover almost all the way up to the final circle. All those other teams, they're going to have to be dealing with this, and Ath, Buriram, Primus Commander, they're going to be so worried about this. Maybe PK have got angles through here? But apart from that, I mean, this is looking so damn good for Chicken Sandwich.
I'm wondering what that looks like from the low ground as well. Is there able terrain all the way through?
That's a good question.
It kind of looks like there is. So I wonder if there's a world here where maybe Ant can sort of do something a bit cheeky as well. I guess we'll just see as this game does play out what is going to eventuate App on the girders. Not really having a great time with Zabby having been knocked. I'm not sure there's a res available on offer. Ant drops down. They don't look up, but eventually they do get that info. There's a player above them. It's a bit of a mess, all things considered. This fight plays out, and Ant do come off worse. Chicken Sandwich in that meanwhile have pushed out of their god spot, and they have info. They've got the Seer ulti down, and they are just farming at the moment. 3 sets of red armor. I think Chicken Sandwich walks away with this one. There's really got to be no question, unless Buriram pulls something off.
They're splitting their players up currently to try and deal with these final teams. So it's only Kizik and we've got Gopgaps alive for Buriram here, who are currently hiding behind knockdown shields, trying to take this out. But yeah, Chicken Sandwich, they didn't even need to rely on the God spot. They saw the opportunity to finish these fights off, and they have clutched this victory. They've just taken it with everything they've got. It's going to be so many kills going the way of them. 7 for one. I saw 6 for another. Yeah, that's a massive finish for Chicken Sandwich here in the last game of the day.
Yeah, and we were sort of saying it's been a bit of a slower lobby for them. This second lobby of the day, maybe